Greetings everyone, welcome aboard. Joseph James. It's July 13th, 2010. Here's your live stream recap. Guys, for a Tuesday in the middle of the summertime months right now, guys, we expect this trading to be a lot worse than this right now. We're making money every single day in a live trade room. Before we talk about the trades we took today, though, I want to remind you guys about some freebies on the blog right now, guys. Don't forget, make sure you're following our blog. Now, if you join our newsletter, we're going to send you an email whenever we post something new on the blog. Of course, anything important. We're not going to bother you guys with little tiny, meaningless things in the blog. But whenever we post something important, a new article, a new video, a new trade call, right? You can get it all in real time if you just simply follow the blog. Now, on the blog right now, if you're watching the video on the blog right now, it'll be in the lower right-hand corner. Just look for the button that says follow. Okay, you can also, of course, use our search box, search for any topic you want more information on. You can see us on YouTube and follow us on Twitter and join our Facebook page to get all kinds of new social media updates. Right, guys? There's many ways you can always be following us. But follow the blog, get all the real-time updates, guys. And, of course, have some fun with our social media. See us on YouTube, follow us on Twitter. Our Facebook page, though, is really active, and you guys can come out and meet some of our friends. Right? So on the blog, guys, use the blog, and don't forget to follow that blog. Let's see here. 2, 4, 6, 8 total trades. Made some money on crude, made some money on the euro. We got an Aussie in there, mate. Right? Back to the Russell and finished up on crude. 156 ticks. Couple winners there on the euro. So we got 12.50 per tick on the euro today. 16.30 is our total for the day. That brings our weekly total to 33.20. Our monthly total now is over $10,000, and we're now just shy of $83,500 here for the month of July. We did $22,000 in the month of June. We did $18,000 in the month of May, guys. Like I said, if this is what to expect for the rest of the summer, guys, I'm taking my money all the way to the bank, right? Popsicles, ice cream's on me, right, for the beach this weekend. Let's look at the trades today. What was the most important thing that happened, though, right? What did the day look like today? Well, we had a very slow beginning of the day. We saw a decreasing speed of the tape, right? No very good speed. Okay, we saw patterns trigger that didn't end up getting us into a trade and then, right, making us money. So we didn't see any follow through. And of course, one of the big problems today was that lower volume environment in the morning hours. We didn't see any conviction. So lack of speed, no follow through to really get the trades moving very far today, and a little bit lack of conviction. If you watched gold today, you saw exactly what I was talking about. Gold looked horrible this morning. And so what we've really been able to see here is we're seeing basically these kind of high volume, low volume as we make our way through the morning. Now today we had some news this morning, but we didn't have very much news at all. Tomorrow on Wednesday, we have a lot more news. We got some crude inventories, we got some jobs numbers, this is going to start picking up here later on this week. But without a lot of news events today, okay, we're still seeing that, high volume times, low volume, high volume. So, right, the waves of the way the market moves, we have to look for the periods of high volume and low volume, right? And so be patient for those high volume times. The worst thing that I see right now is when we have traders that are making a lot of money in the high volume times, but then they continue to apply the same aggressive style in the low volume times, and then it takes the money right back. Okay, so we want to make sure we identify the high volume times, only trade during the high volume times, right? And then wait for the low volume times to pass, wait for the market to come back up with volume, and then jump back in. All right, guys, we'll talk more about that tomorrow in our members training at 11:30 Eastern time, so be here for that. Okay, 8 total trades today, guys. We started things off in the crude, went to the euro, took a trade in the Aussie, back to the euro, the Russell, and then we finished up with a 21 range trade on the crude. Now, when we first opened up our chart this morning, we weren't surprised by anything, but we saw some slow speed of the tape. Now, check out my lower right-hand corner here, and here's my pace of the tape indicator. And now, guys, this is one of those indicators that makes it real easy on new traders to identify or understand, okay, what the overall condition of the market is. Guys, if I had a nickel every time a client of mine asked me, Joe, how do I know when the market is too slow to be trading? How do I know when the market is fast enough to be trading? Well, guys, here you see, and we can mark this kind of trend line here, right, of decreasing speed. Right, so we notice right away here we've got decreasing speed, right? Speed is slowing down. All the highs are lower, okay, going back all the way from 7 o'clock all the way into 8:15. So 20 minutes there, we're seeing the price action slow down. So when we see the speed of the tape like that, let's head back over now to our main chart here. When we see the speed of the tape like this, guys, we know we want to be careful. So when we saw this for the first time this morning on crude, we knew right away we should probably wait a little bit. So we did. At 8:15, we see slow speed, so we simply waited a little while. We waited until the 8:30 news came out. We waited until just about 9 o'clock here before we started taking our first couple trades in the morning here. Now you can see, remember guys, 9 o'clock Eastern time is when crude futures open. Now crude will trade 23 hours a day, but the actual pit, right, the open outcry pit, where a lot of the big money players come in, that opens up at 9 o'clock Eastern time. So at 9 o'clock, we expect to see the volume increase a little bit, but guys, we get in a little bit before that today. Let's take a look. Now, as you guys know, the short-term trend here, I can tell by the look at my slope, my trigger line. So a short-term trend is up. Now at 8:50 here, we're going to break above overhead resistance. We're going to push our high of day here a little bit to the upside, and we're going to mark up our swing high. We then break above that swing high, and there's your breaker pattern long. 76.18 was the fill. Only got a little bit of profit out of it. Took my +4 target, took 2 off there, moved my stop up to my point of entry here, and you can see it got real choppy here, guys, before it began to launch. I missed out on the big launch. All I got was my first profit target +4 and then +1. So 2 off at 4, 2 off at 1, right? That's $100 or 10 ticks. So the first trade of the morning, little scratch trade. We had the right idea here, but I think what happened was we got caught up by this trend line here, this little trend line, which we didn't expect to be really that big of a deal. But you can see here, that's pretty much what kept this thing contained. Now, in my opinion, right, trading into this trend line on my fast chart. Now, remember, guys, this is not a trend line off my slow chart. Big difference. A fast chart trend line, right, it's kind of like a paper napkin, right? It might give us a little bit of resistance, but it's going to push right through. Whereas the slower time frame trend lines, that's like a brick wall, right? It's going to bounce. It's really going to hold. So this is my fast chart trend line, which means the thought process is that we would see, right, if we could possibly get into this trade and then be able to grab the bounce. We didn't get it. We got a little bit of profit out of it, $100, so we'll take it. But as you can see, though, it put us in a position where if the market did break, we'd already be in that trade, and we would have been +4, +8, +24, right? So you can see there was a lot of upside potential here, which is worth the trade. Then 10 minutes later, after the price begins to settle down from this move to the upside, we break above resistance again here at 76.60. We mark up our swing high again pushing the high of day. Now this happened right at the open, so of course a little bit higher risk here, a little more advanced strategy here. At the open of crude, you're going to see things get a little bit speedy, a little bit whippy, but as long as you know how to retape, as long as we're moving with good speed, we should be fine. We're going to break above that swing high, and there's your breaker pattern long. Now this one, we got a whole lot more. Right now, our first target got filled at +9. Sorry, yeah, that'd be 2 off at 9, 1 off at 7, 1 off at 21. That's 46 ticks or 460 USD. Now, guys, on this particular crude trade here at 9 o'clock, okay, you can see here we got our first target not +4, but at +9. And what happened here was, right, this is a good example of a little bit extra slippage, right? So we get a little bit extra ump from the buyers here, and instead of getting filled at +4, we get dragged all the way up here to +9, guys, and we have a nice big winning trade there. All right, guys, so there's our second trade there. 46 ticks on the second trade, 18 ticks for the first one, guys, and we're off to the races here at 9 o'clock. At this point in the morning, I'm thinking to myself, all right, this might turn out to be a pretty good day today. We saw some real slow speed at the early session of the trading session, but now we're starting to see things begin to pick up a little bit. Over now in the euro.